up and make sure your space is good for you and what you need from your practice today. I'm hoping the weather here will hold up. I think we're supposed to get something in Austin today at some point. If you're practicing in the future, you get to hear me chat for a little bit. My name is Noel. If we haven't had the pleasure of meeting in person, it's really nice to be here to teach you today virtually. This is Aspen. I don't know if you can see her in camera, but my dog is co-hosting today. And we're tuning in from my patio, which Austin has some interesting air quality going on right now with the Saharan dust cloud and whatnot rolling through. What else? We're going to be working on outer hips and eagle pose today. So working on a lot of stability through the legs and the low body, and also taking some time to manage stress levels and anxiety as we go through our practice. A little bit of hip mobility as well, so all of the things. It'll be a nice practice today. Yes, the playlist, if you want to follow along, you're welcome to put whatever music on that you enjoy, but if you'd like a pre-curated playlist on Spotify, if you don't follow me already, it's Noel, N-O-E-L, Anderson, and the playlist is called Shift Yield Perspective. So you can find that on there, and I'll let you know when to start it so that you can follow along as we move. You don't need any props for class today, but if you like them and you have them available to you, please feel free to grab them and use them. For a lot of us, we just don't have access to props at home. But you know, you can make do with a book or whatever you need if that helps you, but I'll be keeping things without them so that we can try to find alternatives within our own body without the need of external props as much as I love my props. Haircut because it's windy out, and we'll get started in 2 minutes. Let's get going. Playlist is linked. We don't need any props. Let's start in a comfortable seat. And before we get moving, a reminder, especially since I can't see you, we're not in like a Zoom call where I can kind of not necessarily just demo and be able to watch and help you guys from what I can see if you're watching this in the future, things like that. Please know that this is your own practice. This is your body. It may look very, very vastly different from what I'm doing with my body, and that is perfect. I'm here demoing in my own body, which is in its own right unique and original, and the shapes that I make might feel very different to me than they do to you. So these at-home practices in this quarantine time that we're working with are really important to kind of like explore your own intuition of being able to find spaces that feel comfortable and safe for you to be in. I will try to give as many opportunities or ideas that I may have that look different from mine to allow you to find your own way, but if something does not feel good, do not do it. If you know a better option or want to explore a different pose or something like that, then that's there for you as well, okay? I'm just here providing a little bit of guidance, ideas, opportunities, but at no time are they requirements for you to get a good yoga practice, right? Because what we're doing today is just making shapes with our bodies in an effort to try to get a little deeper into what truly is the yoga, which is, tuning in with yourself and seeing what you can do with all of the information that your body provides for you, and hopefully letting that trickle out into the rest of our lives, right? Okay. So come into a comfortable seat. This can be cross-legged. You can have your legs out. You can be on your shins. You can definitely have props underneath your hips if you want a little bit of a lift. Any of these are beautiful options. Let your hands rest comfortably. I like mine on my thighs, and the lap is good too. And right away, notice if you're hunching forward. This is how many of us live our lives, right? Kind of hunching and rounding forward. Instead, imagine you have just a gentle tap of a ruler or something in between your shoulders, encouraging you to sit up a little tall, opening the front side of your chest and your collarbones. Now, if you're outside or you have a beautiful view around you, you might just look at that, keeping a soft gaze to your eyes. Or if you're kind of tired of your surroundings, you might close your eyes and really tune into yourself today. Let the elbows soften in towards your waist. Before you change anything, just notice if you're holding tension somewhere. For me, the jaw, the teeth, I've had caffeine, it's working. I'm feeling a little bit up, right? A little tense. So just starting with a general body scan, noticing right away if you feel sore or tense anywhere. And before forcing that away, just taking time to make note of it. Maybe to inquire why you're feeling that way, what the reaction is, what's been going on in your life, and instead of pushing these things away, taking time to tune into them and have a little chat. Chat with yourself about what's going on, why you might feel this way, and finding a little bit of acceptance for this state. Because many of us know that good vibes only really isn't helpful for anybody. Learning to navigate bad vibes in quotations, of course, sore muscles, sore minds, stressed minds. All of these different variations of ourselves that we have deserve just as much as the good stuff to be accepted. As we work into Eagle Pose today, Garuda, which is a giant bird creature in Hindu mythology, represents seeking clarity or being able to find clarity within yourself. So with that in mind today, you might find, just like we talked about before, that intuition of yourself, of being able to tap into that or navigate and find some curiosity within your own body to find what is true for you. Not for me, not for anyone else that's watching this right now, but what is true for you and your body today. And now you might start to, with acceptance, seek a little bit of change in those areas of tension. See if you can physically adjust a little bit to let go of any of those tight physical spaces. And then start to bring your attention to your breath. instead of forcing it to change, just notice what the state is right now, your starting line. Maybe a little shallow, a little ragged. And just notice if it's already changed because you've placed attention to it. I know mine has. I'm already breathing a little bit deeper. Adding one more layer as you soften and relax around any tensions in your physical body. See if you can also bring the same attention, same care to your breath. Allowing the breath to be a little bit more fluid, a little bit more slow, recognizing that you absolutely have the time to slow down here and just breathe. On your mat making time, then truly allow yourself the time. Instead of rushing to the next shape or the next destination, sit with yourself and breathe. Recognizing that sometimes more than holding some of these postures that we find, sitting with ourselves in stillness can be much more difficult. Start to find your rhythm of your breath today. Really start to tune in to the length of the inhales and the exhales. Maybe working a little bit to balance them out. And give yourself 3 to 5 more rounds of breath here. Unhurried, unrushed breath. Still working with that flow, that rhythm before we start to move. We're going to start with a little bit of hip mobility. So bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide, and give yourself some space if the heels need to travel further away from the pelvis. That's awesome. Give yourself a nice big long diamond shape, or if it feels good to bring the heels in a little bit closer. Play around with both variations and see what you're needing today. And we'll start just by sitting up tall. You can wiggle the toes a little. Another variation of the feet might feel good, so you can either flex the toes away from each other, kind of like an open book, or you might point the toes in towards one another and really press through the ball mounds of your feet. Sit up tall. You can use the hands to encourage this, pressing into the ankles or the shins. And then slowly just start to lean over to the left, keeping the right knee opposing by pressing down towards the mat. And then slowly draw the chest forward. Little draw back of the shoulder blades together at the back body, so you're really opening, almost exaggerating the push of your chest. And then come back to a neutral spine, rock over to your right. And then just like we do in our cat pose, see if you can round the shoulders in, tuck the chin in towards your chest, and lean back a little bit here. Inhale up through center, sit up tall. Exhale, lean over to the left. Inhale, press the chest forward, squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, lean over to the right. Good, round the spine, think cat pose here, a little tuck of the chin in towards the chest. And inhale, sit up tall. We'll go the opposite direction this time, inhaling when you're ready, and exhale, lean a little over to the right. Up through center. Squeeze the shoulders, press the chest forward. As you exhale, lean over to the left. exhale here. One more time, that same direction. Inhale. And exhale, lean to your right. Inhale, think cow pose here, belly and chest press forward, squeeze the shoulder blades. And exhale over to your left. Inhale, come back through center. Cool. Now let's start with the hands back behind us. Oh, there are a million tiny ants on my mat right now. That's fun. The joys of being outside while we practice. All right, hopefully they don't bite. Coming back to this. So hands back behind you. These are your support system. Find a little bit of effort by pressing down through your fingertips or your palms, and you can 100% tent up onto the finger pads for access here. And then really start to tug the belly button in towards your spine so you feel a little bit of low core engagement. Almost that cow pose quality of squeezing the shoulder blades together, just a little lift of your chest. Now here comes the hard part. Press down through the pinky edge of your left foot. See if you can hover your right foot off of the ground. It's the action of thinking of pulling your heel up towards your collarbones. Obviously we're nowhere near that, that's okay, but we have a kind of idea of how high we're trying to lift here. Now keeping the leg lifted, slowly begin to straighten it, kick out through your heel, flex your toes, and then point your toes. One more time, kick out through the heel, flex your foot, and then point out. And then nice and slow, bring it as wide as feels good, drop the foot out into a half straddle. Keeping the fingertips here for support, re-lift the chest and the spine. We'll do this on the other side. Press down through your right heel, even though it's extended, this is your anchor, and then slowly play around with lifting that left foot. Now, if this feels really difficult, that's okay. You don't actually have to lift the foot, but you're finding that engagement of lifting up. And then slowly begin to kick the left leg long, kick out through the heel, flex the toes up and back towards your shin, and then point the toes. Kick out through the heel, point through the toes, good, lift a little higher, and then bring yourself into a wide straddle. Now this does not need to be as wide as your mat by any means. This can be a short V shape. It's really what feels best in your body. And then try to adjust your sweet potatoes behind you and out to the side. Sit up tall once more. Very nice. Now slowly rebend your knees, come back to that butterfly shape, soles of the feet together, knees out wide. We're going to do this one more time, but we're going to try to keep the hands at heart center. But anytime this feels really not accessible to you, you can always drop the hands back behind you. It's beautiful. We're just going to try to recruit a little bit more of our muscle engagement on this side. We're going to try it. We'll see how it goes. Press through the pinky edge of your left foot. Hands at heart center. Slowly try lifting that right foot without leaning back. So right away I felt myself lean back. Instead, keep sitting up tall, nice long spine. Slowly kick the right leg out long, point the toes and flex them, and then point the toes, slowly drop out to that wide straddle. Sit up tall once more, big breath in. Belly button pulls in towards the spine to stabilize. Start to hover that left foot off of the ground. Root down through the right heel to help support this motion. And then extend the leg out long, kick, point the toes, and kick. Good, and then nice and slow, drop it out wide. Adjust to sweet potatoes, off to the side, big breath in. And exhale, lean to the left. So just like we did in that butterfly shape earlier. Inhale, think cow pose, press the chest forward here. Oh, hello hamstrings. And then over to the right. Good, exhale as you round the spine, curl it in. If you like to extend the arms forward to exaggerate this, that might feel nice. And inhale, sit up tall. Let's go to the other side. Big breath in to prepare, and as you exhale, lean over to the right. Root down through that left heel in opposition. Inhale, think cow pose, belly, chest come forward with a little lift, a little puff up. And exhale over to your left. Inhale, come back up through center. And exhale, let it go. Nothing fancy here. Let's just make our way into a tabletop position. Come to your hands and knees. Now tabletop, I feel like we always cue the same way. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees stack underneath the hips. But we're not stuck in concrete here. Your body might be different than mine. I've really been digging, taking my hands a little in front of the shoulders and wide to the edges of my mat, as well as with my knees, to really find some stability in my body. Wherever you are, try to press down through the tops of your feet and your shins. You'll naturally feel your glutes and your low core engage a little bit here. That's what we're looking for to help us stabilize. And then this can be a nice place to kind of find a setup for your down dog too, when you're going to have more pressure on your wrists. Notice if you bulldog your elbows out, try to wrap that bulldog back so elbows face your ribs and your thighs. Fan all 10 fingers out wide and then really press down through the finger pads. Take a big breath in, drop your belly low, tilt the tailbone up, actual cow pose here. Exaggerate that bend in your elbows and pull your chest through. If the neck feels healthy today, you can lift the chin, maybe wag the head a little from side to side. Keep breathing here. You can add a little wag to the tailbone side to side if that feels good. Good, inhale, come through center, cow pose. Exhale, cat, arch and lift through your spine. Stamp down through your palms, straighten your arms here as much as feels good. Draw the chin in towards your chest. Keep pressing down through the shins. And then rock your weight a little from side to side. This is like a nice scapula or shoulder blade massage, just pressing out through the left side. This is also a really good stretch for our lat muscles, which live underneath our armpits and can be very, very difficult to engage and also to stretch. Good. One more inhale here, and a full exhale. Inhale, belly drops. Let's move a little faster. Cow pose. Exhale to your cat, arch and lift through the spine. Inhale, belly drops. And exhale, belly lifts. Take a few more rounds at your own pace here. If you like this linear motion, just forward and back, working on that spinal mobility. Beautiful. If you'd like to bring the side body in a little bit more, make these rounding motions as you move, that is very welcome too. If you're making anything circular, just take time to balance out from side to side. And then slowly round your way back to your neutral tabletop. Press through the shins once more. Curl the toes under, gentle bend in the elbows, a little bit of buoyancy to bring you up into your downward facing dog. Now, especially here in my down dog, I like my hands wide of my shoulders. Feet can be about hip width distance, or you might take them a little wider. Allow the head to really relax between your arms here instead of craning to see the screen. Allow your ears to do the work for you here so you can listen. Pedal out the knees from side to side, spiking one heel high and pressing down through the other. Now, it is not a requirement for your heels to ever touch the mat. I have very, very over flexible legs, hypermobile, so you can see that it's very easy for me to do this, but that is not normal, nor is it always healthy. Very good. Take a big breath in, bend your knees deeply, almost like you're about to sit down into a squat, and then very sweetly walk your hands back to your feet, to the back of your mat. When you land, keep that deep bend in your knees, a little bit of heaviness through the seat. Grab for opposite elbows, fold over your thighs, sway a little from side to side here. Then release your left hand down. I like to tense up onto the fingertips, bend the knees a little deeper, spiral the right hand high, take a twist. Now from here, really press into the left fingertips. If it feels good, you can work to straighten your right leg as much as you'd like to. You can also press the weight a little further into the right foot. And almost press out towards the right with your right hip as well. One more breath in, reach the right fingertips high. As you exhale, flow back down through center. This time, right hand comes down, bend both knees deeply, spiral the left hand high. So we're in like a little squat chair pose twist. And then when you feel ready, start to straighten your left leg as much as you'd like. Without locking out the knee, we're just working into that upper hamstring and outer hip by T-band area. Press out a little through the left glute. One more deep inhale. Exhale, bend both knees, fold over. Walk yourself out to a high plank this time. So I like to find my down dog first and then roll myself forward onto the ball mounds of my feet. Little rock forward and back, side to side. If this already feels like too much pressure on the wrist, or you're just not into your high planks today, you can always lower down to the knees. Same effect, just like in our tabletop, press down to the shins, squeeze your glutes. So both of these beautiful variations, working all of the same muscles. We're going to play around with some funky vinyasas today, or chaturanga transitions, that actually work to develop our tricep muscles. So, sorry guys, there's a lot of insects on my mat today. One just startled me. Whew. All right, so from your knee down or high plank, let's all lower down to the knees. Press down through the shins. Hands are just wide of the shoulders. Lower down your chest and chin. Elbows pin back, just like our normal chaturanga push-up, but your body or your booty stays high. Your butt stays high. Good. Now, as you're ready, we're just going to press it back up, back into that knee down high plank. Ooh, good. Then sink your weight back, almost like you're heading into a child's pose. Drop to your forearms. And then nice and slow, drag your belly along. We'll meet in a baby cobra, pulling ourselves through to lift the chest. Pause here. Really wrap the shoulders back. Think of the collarbones and the tops of shoulders like a big T, capital T. Take one more breath in. Press through the hands, lift the chest a little bit more, and then press down to the feet as well. Nice and slow with control, lower back down. Curl the toes under, hips to heels, active child's pose. Downward facing dog, hips come high. Beautiful. This time bend your knees, look forward, exhale, step hop jumper, travel to the top of your mat. Take the feet hip width distance. Halfway lift, start with the palms on the thighs or the shins. Really lengthen through the spine and the top of your head. And then start to activate the legs. Press through the pinky edges of your feet and try to rip the mat apart. This helps to really engage those outer glutes. Gentle bend in the knees here is very, very helpful. Pull the belly button in towards the spine. Feel that low core ignite. And then maybe you sweep the arms by the ears for an added challenge. Keep the breath moving. You got it. One more big breath in. And exhale, fold it back down. Chin to chest, slowly roll all the way up to mountain pose. Sweep the hands up high when you get there. Lean to one side and then the other. Any feel good movements here. Good. One more big breath in, reach up. As you exhale, cactus the elbows out, but don't back bend yet. So we're still here with our long spine. Now start to rip the mat apart once more. Find that activity from our halfway lift and squeeze the glutes, press the hips slightly forward. This helps to protect the low back as we're finding engagement here. Now really start to squeeze the shoulder blades together like you're trying to hold something between them. And if it feels good, you can start to press the hips further forward as you lift the chest in baby cobra or our cow pose here, opening up through the front side of the body. Ripping them out apart, lots of multitasking with our physical self here. Good. Next inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Let's find that active variation. Rip them out apart, arms frame the ears when you find the low body. Booty reaches back. This is the start, long spine from there. One more inhale. Exhale, fold it down. Good. As you halfway lift from here, just reach the chest, look forward, step the left toes long to the back of your mat. On a nice long stance here, so you can start to stretch the hip flexor, lower down to the left knee, left shin. If you need some space for your beautiful belly, you can walk that right foot a little wider to give yourself space. But we're actually going to use a little bit of the pressure from the torso to allow ourselves to really sink the hips forward towards our right heel. Fingertips on the ground if it's accessible. This is where blocks or books can come in handy if the ground does feel far away. And then just like that baby cobra or cow pose earlier, see if you can fan the collarbones wide and press your chest slightly forward. The left knee is rooted down, and from there we can pull that left quad and hip flexor a little longer. Big breath in here. As you exhale, straighten the right leg, flex the toes up and back towards your shin. Now, I forgot to tell you to start the playlist. I'm so sorry, but feel free to pop it on like the third song through right now. Once again, since we're not working with blocks, half splits can feel a little inaccessible to you. You can tense up onto the fingertips or make fists and punch down from there. Hands can walk as close to you as you need. Now, you can have a pretty deep bend in the knee here and still get the same effect. You just want to flex the toes up and back towards your shin. Kick out through the right heel here. So I'm kicking forward. That's going to activate my leg, and I can start to wrap my right hip behind me. So I'm lengthening the leg away from the heel as I'm finding that kicking forward motion. And then from here, long spine, big breath in, lift the chest. Exhale, bow and fold a little deeper. Nice and slow, re-bend into the front knee. Curl the left toes under, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, rip them out apart, arms frame your ear. Exhale, chair pose. Sit low through the legs. So same activation, rip them out apart. Let's leave the feet hip width distance. Give yourself space here. And then chair pose, just like you're sitting back into a chair. Find that, then re-rip them out apart. Arms can come wide, finding a little lift of the chest. Now for the tailbone, a lot of us have trouble finding that tilt of the tailbone that many yoga teachers talk about. So for today, we're just going to find a little lengthening of the low back. This means shortening the belly. So that opposing action, rolling the hip points towards the low rib cage. This naturally lengthens the low back, so a little shortening of the belly. And it's going to be a midway point. We're not exaggerating here. We just need a little bit of forward motion. Arms wide, make space for your shoulders. Take a big breath in. Exhale, fold it down. Good. Lift your vision. Step your right toes to the back of your mat. Lower down to your right shin. Then from here, make space for your belly, for your bosoms, whatever you got. Fingertips ground down if available. And then slowly start to press your knee and your chest forward, allowing your torso to get a little bit of weighted traction to this lunge. One more inhale. As you exhale, leave that foot a little wide, half split, straighten your left leg as much as you'd like. Lift the toes up and back. This helps to flex the leg by engaging our quad muscles so the hamstring has space to open. Bend in the knee, very welcome. Kick out through the left heel as you wrap that left hip back behind you. Take a breath in, press the chest forward as you pull the left hip back, exhale to fold. Next breath in, re-bend into your front knee, hands reframe the foot. Curl your right toes under, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, active halfway lift, rip them out apart, arms frame your ears. Exhale, sit low. Inhale, lift the arms, chair pose. Beautiful, y'all. Big breath in. Exhale, fold it down. Step back with the left foot, low lunge, lower down to the left shin. This time we'll lift the arms. And instead of settling the hips super far forward, see if you can keep them right in between the heels, sitting straight down so we have a nice active pelvis. And then try to pull back or traction your right heel towards your left knee so you find that nice lift. You'll get the same hip flexor stretch by pressing that left hip slightly forward. Take a big breath in to reach the fingertips high. Exhale, cactus the elbows. Find that same thing we did standing earlier. Press the hips forward, engage those glutes, then squeeze the shoulders, lift your chest, keep breathing. Good, one more inhale here. As you exhale, find your eagle arms or a bear hug. Left elbow underneath the right. You can grab for opposite shoulders, press through the backs of the forearms, or find a full double bind. Reach the elbows forward, pulling them away from your chest. You'll feel that nice dome of your shoulder blades, and then slowly start to lift the fingertips, lift the elbows up. Focus your vision. This is where the wobbles start to come in. Press down through that left shin to help you stabilize. And then draw some circles with your fingertips here, both directions. you draw some figure eights. Very nice. Come back to stillness. Next inhale, reach the arms out wide. And then exhale, hands to hips. Curl your toes under. Scoot your right heel a little further in so you're really in a nice strong lunge shape here. Stamp down through the left knee, right foot. And then play around with lifting your left knee off of the ground here. Might be graceful, might be easy, probably not though. So we're in our high crescent lunge, hands still on the hips. Take a moment to find the hips even as possible. So right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. Gentle bend in the left knee. And then you have a few options here. You can reach the left heel long, or you might find a deeper bend in the knee and spike the heel high. Each one is just as good. When you're ready, arms frame the ears. Take a big breath in. Exhale, cactus the elbows. Focus your vision. Inhale, reach the hands up high. Exhale, warrior two. Spin the left heel down, open up wide. Take up some space with the feet. This might mean widening the feet so you feel more stable, or you might want a deeper lunge by lengthening your stance. Either one is just as good. And then the arms reach long into a T as you're ready. Relax the shoulders down, finding a gentle squeeze to the back body. Your front knee can be in front of the ankle, it can be behind the ankle, it can be stacked right over it. Just as good, see what feels best on your knee today. Check in with this back leg, micro bend in the knee, press through the pinky edge of your foot. We want that leg to be active as well. We're not dumping forward or pulling right down the center. As you're ready, reverse your warrior. Right palm flips up, reaches straight up here, and then just a little lean back to get a side body stretch. Big breath in. As you exhale, bring your hands to heart. Slowly turn the left toes out to the back of your mat. Bend deeply into the left knee. This is like a one-leg chair squat, just sitting low. Your right foot can stay rooted, or you can find the flex of your toes just like we did in our half splits. This is a lateral lunge, sometimes called a rainbow warrior. This is a nice lifted variation of our Skandasana. We're going to build onto this pose later to find our eagle pose, so allow yourself to really sit back and down. So a nice stretch through the inner thigh here too. Whew. One more breath and lift the chest. Exhale, sit a little lower. Good, come back to your warrior two. Open up wide, land your right toes down. Inhale, reverse your warrior once more, reach up and back. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Step back, high plank or knee down plank. Knees, chest, and chin drop. Find your worm pose, booty stays high. Inhale, press it back up. Use those triceps, elbows stay in tight. Exhale, hips to heels, drop the forearms down. Inhale, slide it forward. Find your baby cobra, lift the chest. Exhale, chest comes down. Inhale, sink it back. Exhale, downward dog, hips come high. Pedal out the knees, any movements that you need, or you can also grab water, find a child's pose. Inhale, look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, active halfway lift. Arms frame the ears, rip the mat apart. Exhale, sit the hips low. Inhale to lift the arms, find our full on chair pose. Big breath in. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step the right toes back, low lunge, lower down to your right. Right away, arms frame the ears for low crescent moon. Find that active lunge, so pelvis sits straight down between your feet. Once you find your low body, maybe widening the left foot in line with your hips, you have a nice stable base, the arms can reach up. Let's inhale all together. Exhale, cactus your elbows, lift your heart. And full round of breath here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift your chest. On your next exhale, we'll find our eagle arms on the other side, right elbow underneath the left this time. Bear hug is beautiful. Or you can find that full bind or half bind. Reach the elbows away from your chest and then up. Maybe you lift the vision, allowing yourself to focus. and really embrace any of those wobbles. Your next breath in, reach the arms out wide. Exhale, hands to your hips. Step that left foot a little closer in so you have a nice 90-90 shape here. Curl the back toes under, look forward, and slowly rise up with as much grace as you feel you can muster today. Check in with the hips, a little pull of the left hip back, right hip forward, so we have that nice flat plate on the low back. And then finding variation with that back leg that feels good for you today. Breathe. As you're ready, inhale to lift the arms. Exhale, cactus your elbows, lift your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two, spin your right heel down, arms reach to a T. Making adjustments on this side of the legs. And then settling into some stillness. This time, let's focus on the pelvis. It can be really easy to stick the booty back and kind of lean forward or to an edge of your mat. Instead, see if we can squeeze the butt cheeks underneath you, finding that engagement through your pelvis. Flip your left palm, reverse your warrior, reach straight up, right hand drops down or comes to the low back. Once you've found as much lift as you can muster here, maybe you lean back a little further. One more breath in. As you exhale, hands come to heart. Good. Let's turn the right toes out this time and then make our way into that lateral lunge. So the knee tracks with the toes. We sit back and low, and then maybe we lift the left toes for that rainbow warrior. Think of lifting the chest here. Good. Starting to feel a little heat through that right side quad, feeling that nice balance point through the right foot. This will come in handy later. One more breath in. Exhale, come back to your warrior two, open back up. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. Exhale, hands down, frame your foot, step back, high plank, knee down plank. Chest and chin drop, hands are wide for worm pose, elbows pin into the ribs. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, drop to your forearms. Inhale, baby cobra, slide it through, lift your chest, breathe. Take one full round of breath here. Most of the support is coming from my back body muscles, lifting here. One more breath in. Exhale, take it down. Hips to heels, and then hips high, downward dog. Take a big breath in through your nose, and a full breath out through the mouth. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, travel to the top of your mouth. Tie this all together. Take a breath in, halfway lift. Reach the arms forward, active halfway lift. Rip the mat apart. Exhale, sink the hips low, chair pose. Lift the arms on your next breath in. Inhale here. Exhale here. Good. Now bring the weight into your right foot. Press out through the right side of your hip. Trying to keep everything in line and stacked here. And then slowly tent up onto the right ball mound of your foot, lifting the left heel. If you feel good here, try to sit back and down a little further. Maybe you can float your left toes. Good. And then with control, slide the left foot to your back of your mat. Land in your high crescent lunge. Very nice job, guys. I can feel you kicking butt right now. Take a big breath in. Exhale, cactus your elbows. One more inhale. As you exhale, eagle arms or bear hug. Left elbow underneath the right. Inhale, pull the elbows forward and up. Exhaling to settle into any level of back bend that feels good and safe for you today. One more breath here. We'll keep the eagle arms. Find warrior two and just your legs. So left heel spins down. Arms pull to the long edge of your mat. Inhale, lift the elbows up and away. Exhale, right to your lateral lunge. So left toes turn out, sit low into the left leg. Maybe the right toes lift. Now we're gonna find our eagle pose from here today. For me, I like to drag my right heel a little closer in so I have a little bit more stability. Sit low and deep into that left leg. Knee is tracking with my toes. And then I'm gonna play around with lifting the right knee and then settling into my eagle pose, sitting low. My right toes can tap down. I like to cross my shins for more stability sometimes, finding the same beautiful benefits of this bind, sitting low into the legs without all of the kind of cramming of the thighs together to find this instead. Still lifting the elbows up and forward. Good. We'll unwind the way we came in, so slowly lift the right knee, and let's unfurl to warrior two. Step it wide, land the foot, gentle bend in both knees. Awesome, y'all. Reverse your warrior, right hand high, lift up and back. Exhale, plant the hands down. Right away, step forward, forward fold. Shake the head loose. Shake the shoulders loose. Let's make our way through the other side. Rip the mat apart. Active halfway lift. Arms reach forward. Exhale, sit low through the legs. Inhale, lift the arms, chair pose. Hold that core in. Bring the weight into the left foot. Play around with lifting the right heel. From here, maybe you hover the whole right foot. Ooh, hello. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, right toes tap down and glide to the back of your mat for your high crescent lunge. This can take a few steps to get there. Does not need to be this graceful glide back or a big step. Find what feels good for you, safe to get into your high crescent lunge. Big breath in. Exhale, cactus your elbows. Right elbow underneath the left for your eagle arms or bear hug. Take a breath in, elbows lift forward and up, and then as you exhale, maybe find a back bend. One more breath in. Keep your eagle arms with your right heel down, warrior two in the legs. Pull the elbows in line with the long edge of your mat. Good, big breath in. As you exhale, quick transition to our lateral lunge with your eagle arms. Turn the right toes slightly out. Knees track with the toes. Lift the left leg or left toes as you sit into the right hip. Squeeze the shoulder blades together at the back body. Pull the core in, and then nice and slow, drag that left foot in a little closer. Maybe you make your way into that eagle pose, crossing at the thighs. Maybe tucking the toes, or you can cross at the shins, finding a more supportive variation. I love those cross shin variations, help me build strength and stability here without, again, compressing those thicker areas of my body, which are my thighs. Give yourself space exactly as you are. One more inhale here. Full exhale. Inhale, lift that left leg, unwind, open up, warrior two, land. Reverse your warrior, left hand high. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Step forward, forward fold, let the head go. And nice and slow, settle the hips down towards the heels. Rock your way back and land back on your tush. Grab some water. Awesome, y'all. And then as you're ready, just make your way down onto your back. Extend the legs out long when you land. Then we'll hook the left ankle on top of the right and then move both legs over towards the right edge of your mat. From here, arms can reach up overhead. You can grab for your left wrist and then slowly start to arc and lean over to the right, making a nice big C-shaped curve with your body for Bananasana, one of my favorite names. So just finding a nice stretch through the entire left side of our body, letting go of any tension that we built up from that deep strength work in our eagle pose. Maybe taking time to tune back in, noticing any moments of clarity of that Garuda energy that you found today. As you're ready, unwind back through center. And then this time, right ankle hooks on top of the left. Move both legs over towards the left edge of your mat. Arms reach up and overhead. Grab for your right wrist. Little side body bend over to the left. You can make make the breath a little fuller here, really breathing into that right side rib cage. As you're ready, slowly come back through center. Let the arms rest by your side body. Bend into the knees. Bring the soles of the feet to the ground. And let the feet be just a little wider of the hips. So you should be able to see the outer ankle bone, the outside of your hips. And then find a gentle press down of the low back to the mat, working that low core once more. Press through the big toe edges of your feet first, and then slowly lift the hips as high as feels good for you today for bridge pose. You do not need to go super high with the hips to get any of the benefits here. We're just feeling a little bit of activation through the front side of the body. The glutes are only working about 30 to 50% of their strength capacity here. See if you can press not just through the big toe, but also through the middle toes here, kind of evening the knees in line with the toes. One more big breath in. As you exhale, lower the hips back down. Walk the feet out wide to the edges of your mat and allow your knees to knock in towards center, finding a nice internal rotation here. It can also feel good to let one inner thigh drop a little lower, and then the other. Finding some internal windshield wipers. And then as you're ready, legs extend back out long, or you can also bring the soles of the feet together, finding a reclined butterfly pose. I love my hands resting on my belly to encourage some grounding sensation and support for myself. You might also enjoy coming upright and finding a seated meditation in place of your Shavasana today. Taking the next few moments to get yourself set up. And for me, in my practice, resting posture of Shavasana always felt very difficult, but it was also the first place that I found the space and, we'll say, the bravery to change it up, to find something that felt better for me. Taking a few moments to find what feels good for you today. And then once again, offering yourself the choice to close down the eyes or to just allow a gentle gaze up at the ceiling or the sky. Give your fingers and your toes a good wiggle, a good stretch out, and then relax them down. Open your mouth really wide, roll your bottom jaw around, stick your tongue out, and then slowly allow your mouth to relax. Using your ab muscles, give your belly button a little squeeze in towards the spine, squeeze your glutes, and then exhale, let it relax. And allowing whatever is underneath you to truly support you now. Let go of any effort, any need to look or feel any specific way, and just find these moments of acceptance, of clarity within the space of rest. rest for longer. Please, please, please take time to rest for longer. These relationships or links that we create with our body's intuition are the first steps to a larger picture of being able to truly take care of ourselves and then take care of others. If you're ready to move on with the rest of your day, slowly begin to deepen the breath. Take a deep inhale in, fill up and expand as big as you can. And then a nice slow exhale out the mouth, let it go. One more time like that, big breath in. Nice exhale, let it go. And then slowly bring some movements back, taking time to make your way up to a seat if you'd like to close out class here with me. Since we're in this virtual setting, if you'd like to feel comfortable to blinking your eyes open, and I'm looking at you, looking at me through these screens. I'm just taking a moment to connect with each other. Hello, it's nice to have you here. And then closing out class with the recognition that we need to approach these practices with a very deep gratitude. For me personally, obviously this is not my culture or heritage that yoga comes from. It has been graciously gifted to me and gifted to many of us to allow these practices, starting with these physical postures and then hopefully spanning out to a larger and greater good of the need to self-study, to take time for ourselves so that we can take time for others, and building this bigger picture of what yoga is. So taking a moment of gratitude and thanks for that, for being gifted this beautiful practice. And then from me to you, deep, deep gratitude and thanks for showing up onto your mat today, for taking time with me. Across screens can feel a little bit distant, so if you'd like to connect with me, please reach out via Instagram. My handle is being.evergreen, and I'm here for you. Let's chat. What about yoga, life, garden patios, I don't know, whatever you need to, social justice. Let's talk about things that we need to talk about with each other, and I think it's time for that. And then you can also just, hit me up with some questions or concerns or music that you would like to hear on the next class, poses you'd like to work on, things like that. Thank you so much for being here today, and I will see you back there very soon.